Welcome to the Barker Podcast Collection.
I suck, you suck, I suck at Call of Duty.
Welcome to the Not Playing Podcast. My name's Rob Howard, and today I'm joined by
Marcus Hurley and Will.
we're going to talk about some of the games we're looking forward to, what's been announced so far, what's on the calendar, what we think might come out or might not, maybe. Who wants to kick it off?
Marcus, you've been playing some demos, haven't you?
I've been a demo bitch. Yeah, I've gone back to the early PlayStation games and been loving some demos.
Ooh, talk to us.
Oh, what do I start with? You know what? Let's get Xbox out of the way. It's not shy that I've been looking forward to the new Devil May Cry game. So I think it was about a month ago. There was an Xbox exclusive demo, which I found out still works because I fired it up before the podcast and a little go. And
Cool.
And it's basically just like a little snippet of how the game might work. They always say it's not finished content and all that sort of stuff. But I'm quite stoked for the main game, to be honest. There's a lot of pretty cool mechanics. Unfortunately, Rob, it's still a little bit combo-y, but it's not as mental. You can just kill things. But it's the way it's a really cool gimmick. It's basically the main protagonist, he's lost the lower part of his arm. So from his elbow downwards, and he's got a robot arm now. It's Nero from Devil May Cry 4. So he's lost his part of his arm.
Yeah, I played that one.
Yeah.
I think I played
that
one.
He had a kind of demon arm in that or something, didn't he? A devil bringer or something weird like that. But he's lost his arm and now it's a robotic version. But the cool thing is, you can pick up upgrades throughout when you're fighting, which can change your fighting style. So the gimmick is that you've got special moves that you can do, or you can sacrifice the arm entirely for like a really powerful attack, and then you have to run around with no arm. You can still attack 'cause he's got the other arm, but you then pick up more upgrades and everything else. But yeah, graphics-wise... Sorry, go on.
I'll say, correct me if I'm wrong, but hasn't the new software, From Software, Shadows Die Twice, hasn't he got a demon arm in that as well? Is it 2019?
I think
it comes out in
DMC
2019.
beat it by a few decades, though.
Oh yeah, fair enough, but demon arms all the rage.
It's all. I think it's all about the age of having gimmicks and more than just running around hacking, slashing. It's be able to do more. Funny enough, they both actually have a grapple feature in the arm as well, which is suspiciously...
Well, if you've got a demon arm, it's naturally going to have a grapple, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. The schoolgirls won't get caught on their own.
So, was it fun?
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm probably going to actually... I might not get it on day 1, but I might get it on day 3 or day 4.
Yeah, surely after the price drop.
Day 1 being pre-ordering it
March.
and getting it... Yeah.
8th of March is day 1.
Well, I might actually get it day 1 then. Who knows? But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. It seems like stupid fun. It has a weird sort of drop-in, drop-out co-op system as well. So they can just like drop in and just start adding more violence to the screen and stuff like that. Story seems a bit fun.
It's actually co-op.
Well, no,
it's
it's more
game.
drop-in, drop-out sort of co-op. So another person can take another character and then jump in. And also, so there's 2 of you doing the ridiculous bullshit that you see on screen that usually happens with Devil May Cry. And then
It doesn't. I've never played a Devil May Cry with that in it.
No, it's never been. I think it's a new feature.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
sure
like
if it's
quite a
online
big deal
only.
for a
I
game
think
like
it
this.
might be online only, drop-in, drop-out co-op. But I have to double check that.
That would be quite a unique thing for a genre like this, where there's so much shit going on.
Yeah.
I'd be quite surprised if that was actually... Is that really happening? It does.
Yep.
Bloody hell.
Why
Not that I
would
don't
lie
believe you,
to
Marcus.
Robert?
Whoa!
No, I just had to like double check that.
So we've got the God William and his great shiny face. It's just like
2 to 3 players as well. That's going to be insane.
Yeah, it's bonkers. Well, bearing in mind the amount of stuff you can do, for one of the arms, the character Nero, you literally hold it down, you can charge it up, and if you're next to an enemy, he'll punch into the enemy, disconnect the arm, and a little fuse will be going off, and then it detonates. But the thing is, if you can time it, you can run around, pick up another one of the same type of arm, charge it and do that, and you can set up a series of charges in the enemy. And another one sort of blasts shockwaves out, which adds to kind of like aerial mobility. So as you're jumping around, you can literally get an extra couple of jumps out of it by using this as almost like air thrusters. You know, you kind of blast a shockwave in a direction. I was fighting this boss where this demon was kind of like in a weird churchyard. And it was typically one of those, almost like a Gears of War style boss where you're in a sort of like, you know, you're in a sort of church type building and there's all caverns and walls and everything. And then I kind of thought, fuck, there's a gap because this guy's just murdering me with fireballs and all this sort of stuff as demons do. Jumped through a gap and he smashed through the side of the church and the whole building collapsed. And the fight carried on in the green. So you've got the option. I mean, they seem to be doing kind of like destructible environments and stuff. I don't know if you saw much of the trailer. But apparently there's options you can do in battle as well, which it just depends whether you're at a certain point, at a certain place.
Yeah, I must say I wasn't really too excited about this, but now we're talking about it, I'm actually intrigued.
Yeah.
I've kind of had a very casual relationship with the series. I think I played 3 or 4. It's useless if I try and describe it because it will be very much like describing all the others. But I can't remember which character it was. But yeah, I did enjoy it. This new one is actually going back to in-house Capcom, isn't it?
Yes, it's the same guy who did 1 to 4. So the recent Ninja Theory DMC Devil May Cry, that's been discontinued and it's gone back to continue the story.
I think that was a bit of an experiment. To see if
honest,
they could
a lot
farm
of that
out.
seems to have been carried over. They seem to have kind of learned a lot from that, and it just seems like because this has got like the same similar sort of attitude in a way, but kind of old school as well, which is why I quite like it because there's not many old school sort of Capcom games that seem to have money thrown at them, and also this is using the new Res engine, which Capcom seems to be showing off.
Cool. My only issue with this series is that
it is a bit Japanese.
Plot-wise, it is absolute nonsense. Utter garbage, story-wise.
You mean like a guy who's half demon, whose mother was a human?
Yeah, that's
was
a
killed.
Character. That's a character and a background.
But he's
no,
the demon
that's the
arm
story.
cut off and it's now robot, right? Sorry,
Well, no,
just make
the
sure I'm not
story
losing
is
track here.
between 2 brothers. They're actually brothers. And they're both half human, half demon. And they're basically, the story is about their father, who was an archdemon in hell.
Yeah, I guess it might have helped if I played the
it's
first one.
And
It's a
presumably
kind
their
of-
mum was a bit kinky.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's like...
If she had a choice.
The thing about these games is there's absolutely zero concessions to anyone who hasn't played any of the other games before.
No, but
from my experience.
But then it is pretty much, you know, you're walking into a title of something 4 or 3 or 7 or whatever, and you kind of go, it's not like Tekken. Tekken, you can pick up anyone; it doesn't really matter.
But that's
You
a
just go
barrier
for
to
the
entry, I
kangaroo or
find.
the panda, and that's it. You're away.
Yeah, if it's indecipherable nonsense, it's a problem. But at the end of the day, if it's fun and it doesn't actually matter, if the plot's nonsense anyway, it doesn't matter if you follow it. I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. If
it has
you've
been a
not
long
played
while
the
since
others,
the last game, though. To be honest, I think 4 was a bit weird, and I think the order of them is also a bit strange because technically, Devil May Cry 2 is the last one in the story.
But I think you'll
So
find
this follows on from that.
fuck's sake.
as the numbers rock up.
Same as fucking Metal Gear, isn't it?
Yeah, but as the numbers rock up, the as it's Metal Gear 5, Fallout 76, whatever. At the end of the day, sorry, silliness on the 76. This is why Ubisoft have stopped numbering their Assassin's Creed after I think it was 4 was the last numbered one, and they just say this is it. It's a standalone story rather than you need to be able to follow the plot. And quite frankly, as these franchises go on and on, they should just drop the numbers and just make new iterations.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
maybe this one might be more welcoming.
I think they had to keep it in this sense, though, to kind of tie it back to the others. But they've also chosen a Roman numeral for it. So even though it's Devil May Cry 5, it's more Devil May Cry V. And there is a character called V in it, who is kind of like a weird necromancer type person. And also it could hit back through the return of Virgil, who was the antagonist. So I guess there's a reason behind it using
That
5.
rings a bell.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Let's move on, because you guys are bored. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it.
No, it's all right. No, I've got some history with that series, but I can't say it's that high on my list.
Yeah.
What have you got, Will? What are you most looking forward to?
I don't know about most looking forward to, because there's so much stuff that I'm really interested in that has a potentially 2019 release date. But one of the ones that I know I'm going to buy that has a confirmed release date in this half of the year, which is also nice, is Far Cry New Dawn. I think it's New Dawn.
Ooh. Okay.
And it is really just... It's not an expansion, but it's a reskin of Far Cry 5, but I had so much fun with Far Cry 5 that I'm absolutely fine with this. I think we talked about it briefly in the last podcast, actually, towards the end. But really, it's a case of it's 18 years after one of the potential endings of Far Cry 5.
Yep.
And it's a cheerful post-apocalypse, which I like the sound of. It's colourful, and it sounds just like I'm getting more and more respect for Ubisoft. They're not taking themselves as seriously anymore, and this just looks like fun. It's pure mayhem in an open world. Blow the shit out of stuff. The weaponry is all built of cogs and springs and is upgradable, and you can shoot stupid great razor blades at bears, and I'm just looking forward to that. It just looks silly.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of not really, I'm a bit sort of out of the whole Far Cry thing at the moment, but there was outrage at first when they started doing these sort of spin-off things using a lot of the same maps and things, but we know the deal here now, and I think a lot of those kind of off the non-numbered games have done quite well, you know.
Yeah.
So
the other thing to point out: this is not a full price release. It's not a half price release, but you can pre-order it now for I think £32. It's not a £60 job.
Yeah. Oh right. Well, that's good.
So again, it makes it more attractive to just go. I want to go back there and have some more fun. It was a great engine. The first one was well done. I'm up for it.
Cool. You got any thoughts about Far Cry, Marcus?
I just feel as though I want to revisit the series, because I remember having a lot of fun with the really earlier ones. And I think I just it was one of those things where the games came out, and I've got a couple of them here. I think I've got Far Cry 3. I think
3 was wonderful.
See it.
So I played
with
one.
The weird guy with the multicoloured shirt.
Yeah. I think they've all got that, haven't they?
Yeah, I think so. I was going to say the weird main enemy, but that's the staple of it, isn't it?
I can't remember his name. It was the guy who talked about the definition of insanity.
He
was one of the best baddies.
It was like creepy and odd and stuff.
Oh no, that was 4.
Oh, I've got 4 then.
There was Pagan Min. He was number 4.
Yes, I've got 4.
And then
which I've still yet to play because I'm a numpty.
Yeah, Free's the one with the guy out of Better Call Saul.
Zane or Vane, or it was something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the guy from Better Call Saul, Nacho.
But yeah, no, I mean, I know those games are a lot of fun. I just need to get around to it, I think.
This
is going to be my year of gaming, though.
There is nothing particularly substantial or moral or plot-wise, but they're just good fun. Which I'm realising is actually the most important thing to me in a game these days.
Yeah, true, as we discussed previously.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say about Far Cry is, unlike Devil May Cry, you really can jump in on any of them because none of them really tie together, I don't think, from my experience.
Completely agree. No, they follow a theme, but I don't think they even refer to each other at all.
No.
It's only really these two recently that have any kind of follow-on, I suppose, but I think that's just the setting rather than necessarily the character you play.
It might just be something clever that they're trying. You know, they kind of go, well, what if we just did this? And then everyone's kind of gone, It's called selling games, and it works better even if you've got a number at the end. If it's a whole new setup, then people are much more willing to buy in. Yeah.
I think Far Cry 3 was really the kind of initiation of the Ubisoft open world approach.
The formula,
I know. Yeah, I think one was Crytek, who basically sold the series to Ubisoft and then went off to make Crysis.
Yeah. I remember playing the first one.
Well, they've done well, haven't they?
Oh yeah, well it was worth it, but yeah, I don't know. It has very little But anyway, coming out the same day as Far Cry New Dawn is Metro Exodus.
Oh, that's two big old FPS post-apocalyptics.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's the 15th of February, in case anyone's keeping count. But there's been some word that this one's going to be like a bit more open world, but I don't think that's the case. I think just some of the maps are bigger. There were in previous games like some parts of the game that were like had more open maps where you'd have objectives to kind of go here, do that, and try not to get eaten by the horrible beasties or run out of oxygen and die. Not at all stressful. I don't think it's a proper open world like Far Cry.
I don't think they have to be open world. I think the key with the first-person shooters, the modern ones, is less about it being open world, more having multiple approaches to the problem. Just like the Hitman games have done recently. They'll put you in a large area and let you do it your way. It doesn't need to be an open world, it just needs to be flexible.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's it. I mean, even with the Metro games, though, there's kind of a limited... they're more like survival horror, where it's like the fear is generated by running out of resources. So kind of in the almost more in the Resident Evil way, which I guess we could segue to.
Hey, that's a wicked little segue there, Rob. Marcus, would you happen to have played the demo for Resident Evil 2?
I have. Some say I may have played it more than once, but
you only get half an hour with it, don't you?
It's literally one shot. In fact, I'm not surprised that the tape doesn't come up with this demo will now self-destruct. After 30 minutes, it basically gives you, if you've completed it or not, if you have completed the demo, you can go back in for as many times as you want. If you die, you can continue as many times as you want until that 30 minutes is up. So people have been trying to speed run the demo. It's this weird sort of obsession thing. It's quite funny. I think the speed limit is like 3 minutes, 10 seconds or something like that at the moment.
Yeah, I've heard about this.
It's crazy. But, fuck me, it's scary.
Yeah.
It is terrifying.
I've been thinking about this.
I put it on. And I put it on and I just thought, this is going to be good. I'm looking forward to this. And you start off in the police station. You don't start right at the start of the game, obviously. You start at a preset point.
Right.
Voice acting, I kind of miss the old cheesy ones. Because they're putting effort in. It's weird. It feels like it feels like a zombie movie you're in. You can go for an option where you can turn off the HUD controls. So basically anything that's interactable, you can't see the icon. You've got no reticle for your firearms, and you literally have to go by guessing, which makes it a full movie experience and bastard hard. I thought that was stupid, so I turned it off. But yeah, no, God, the lighting. I was in the main lobby of the place, and then you go to a part where you have to crank up this part and stick your head in and go inside, and it was pitch black, and he pulls out a flashlight, and then you're going around in the dark, you can hear everything. I did 2 runs, one with the TV speakers, and that was creepy, but it wasn't until I put the headphones on that I felt really, really bad about myself and my choices in life.
Because they're not putting it out in VR, are
they? It's the same engine. Funny enough, it's the same engine as the Resident Evil 7, the RE engine. The re-engine, they call it, funny enough. Yeah. But God, it looks good. The lighting, I've got to say, they've redone the score, because I think they're calling this, unofficially, they're calling this Resident Evil 2 reimagined, because it's not the same game as before. Some of the actors have been changing, they've retconned Leon's background. So originally he got hungover, split up from his girlfriend, got drunk, hungover, and that was why he was late to the police station. So when he arrived, everyone was dead. On his first day, whereas now he got told to stay away. And shit's been going down.
Time he was spending too much time on social media.
Probably, yeah. Instagram. It's like
yeah, there's officially no VR support for Resident Evil 2. The developers have confirmed.
To be honest, I'm quite happy because I think people would just cry.
You would poo all over your sofa.
It is. You know what? The worst thing about it, they've broken zombie law. Zombie laws, shot to the head in the old Resident Evil game, headshot, zombies down. If you get a good headshot, in this one you got to get the headshot, zombie still comes towards you. And they sway. So it's actually quite hard to hit them as well. So if you're getting a whole manner of, you're literally going to get a feeling of getting swamped with so many zombies and you're going to panic and it's going to be really hard to hit them. And I was freaking out. Even the second run when I managed to get the shotgun, God, that led to some disturbing physics. Took a zombie out, it fell to the ground, it rolled over, and it started crawling towards me, just the top half, and started pulling itself apart as it was doing
Nice.
this. And I'm looking at this going, Jesus, they've gone full gore with it. It's crazy. It's mental.
Yeah. No, I mean, moaning about VR, like lack of VR support seems like a little bit over the top, considering what an absolute proper remake this is.
Yeah.
Sorry, was anyone moaning about that?
No, I know, no, apart from the internet.
Right,
sorry,
I'm the internet will moan about anything though, so fuck them.
It's like, oh no, poor VR, it's the answer VR enthusiast fears. It's like,
well, to be honest, they have a VR Resident Evil game already. It was already launched,
which was designed as a first-person game,
exactly.
and so it supports.
Which is
it's
actually
much more
really
of a fit.
good still. So if they've played that, I mean, they're two completely different kind of. The way they work is completely different. Although this does use the Resident Evil 4 over-the-shoulder sort of style. But you can change the field of view, which is weird having that on a console. Normally PC games give you that option.
But that probably took enough. Apparently they've had to, fully redesign a lot of the levels to cater with that.
Yeah.
Because before, it was a fixed, angle isometric, wasn't it?
Oh no, you can definitely
camera.
see the work that's gone into this. It shines. It's crazy.
In the original, they probably didn't have to worry about people looking round corners or anything. So it was all
the cameras were just set, weren't they? And you just went through one area to another, and that was it. But no, this is brilliant. I would say it's nothing short of brilliant.
Cool, and we can try that out for ourselves.
Yeah, is it 25th? I think it's out. 25th or the 29th?
Late January.
I just saw it.
Yeah, 25th of Jan.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so that's coming up really soon. Anything else coming up soon for you, Will, after Far Cry?
Well, I think after Far Cry, I think it's in April, and I'm sure you will confirm the exact dates pretty shortly. But talking of zombie games, one thing that I've not heard enough about yet, but definitely interested in, is Days Gone. So I've heard a lot of negative press, and a lot of people going, oh, another open world zombie game. But actually, I think it looks quite interesting. It ticks a lot of the boxes for me. I love a good open world. I like a good dystopian future where it's all gone Pete Tong and you've got to just kill lots of shit. I like the idea of some running zombies, and I'm particularly attracted by the idea that you can have hordes of hundreds of zombies to take out at a time, even purely from a technological perspective. The idea that the PlayStation these days can handle you riding a motorcycle chained to a tree on one side past a crowd of zombies and just shear them all in half in one go, only if you've got the power, and the fact that you can drive it into the middle of a crowd of zombies and eventually the momentum will slow you down and you're screwed and you have to use various bits of, scenery. There will be some red barrels lying around that you shoot, clearly, because you can't get past these things. But I think this sounds interesting. And I think a lot of people are saying, oh, yeah, it's just The Last of Us, because that was post-apocalypse with zombies. And I don't have time for these people. I think the gameplay itself looks actually quite novel. I've been looking to find out more gameplay details. They've not released anything, but it's out in a few months. So I'm hoping we're going to see some decent previews soon, some proper gameplay. I'm actually genuinely looking forward to it.
Yeah, Sony have definitely been on a roll as far as first-party exclusives go. This was originally supposed to come out on February 22nd, but they delayed it to April 26th to allow them to polish the game a bit more.
And who can have an issue with that? Sign. Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, I mean, it's out when it's out, and there's nothing else on the horizon around that time of the year anyway, so I think they'll do all right out of that. I'm interested, just simply on the reputation of Sony and the amount of effort they're willing to put into making their games work, you know.
They're single-player story experience games as well as much as anything, which is very much the stuff I'm going for.
I think to a certain extent this game exists primarily because of the amount of time they knew it would take for The Last of Us 2 to to happen. But we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm excited about Days Gone too. I think there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah, it looks fun. It looks fun.
Cool. One that I'm looking forward to that I don't think has a date yet is The Outer Worlds. This was unveiled at the Game Awards at the end of last year and is by Obsidian Entertainment, and they've been quietly working away on a full 3D RPG built in the Unreal Engine. Looks a bit Firefly, and is a proper RPG though, with proper conversations and dialogue decisions. I think there are like various factions that you can ally yourselves with. So this is like, I really, really rate Obsidian. I really like their Fallout game. So it's been good to see them working in a more modern looking game. They've recently been sort of spending a lot of time doing like really retro looking games like Pillars of Eternity, which they're very good at. But I've just kind of run out of time with those kinds of games. I just find them a bit of an effort, really, just having to read so much text.
Have we got a release date on The Outer Worlds?
No, I reckon it's going to be like at the back end of the year.
That will be my absolute Christmas treat.
It's a
that
play
basically
safe,
is their take on doing Fallout again, the New Vegas side of things. I hope the humour looks to be there. The trailer looks fantastic. Yeah, definitely, completely with you on that. If it's out this year, there's a very strong chance, just through gut instinct, that it might be, well, it'll be within my top 3 games of the year, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost got a bit of a Mass Effect structure. You have a ship, you fly around, you've got NPC companions that you can kind of take out of you. I think you have up to 2. I'm just skimming the Wikipedia here
but
at the moment.
My gut instinct, though, the variance to Mass Effect is this one's going to have a sense of humour.
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, one of their strong suits. We're talking about the guys that used to work on all the Black Isle games. They know how to do companions, and they know how to build characters and stuff. They're excellent at that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks really good.
Yes, it does.
Cool. Have you got anything, Marcus?
To be honest, I've got a mini list, so I could just run through a few, but I don't know whether we're going round. So for me,
we might have something to say.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, I won't do that. Oh,
flow where you want to, mate.
That's all right. I watch too much Space. Skip into the end. For me, well, honourable mention. Susie's looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 3. She's getting Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I did play. I think I played the first Kingdom Hearts many moons ago. When I was living with a mutual friend of ours, we played it together. But
she's quite excited about it.
Yes, yes, she is.
Really excited about
it. But yeah, to me, it was really weird because I was like, Donald Duck on the cover, and then we're playing it. I'm going, hang on, this is Final Fantasy, and it's got Final Fantasy in it, and fucking Goofy.
Yeah, how does that work? How does that work?
And
What's
apparently
going on?
you've got like Chicken Little as a summon now.
And Simba. Simba's a summon. Like, what?
Baffling. It does sound kind of wonderful, but to me it's the sort of game that I want to say, my daughter turned 7 this year, but she's not a gamer type, but I'd like to give it a couple of years, I think. And that's the sort of game that I would try and somehow figure out a way to play with her or the boy when he's ready. There's bound to
be another HD remake at some point or something like that.
I'll be honest. Yeah, I mean, the PlayStation 4 will be tail end, but, give it a couple of years. PS5 might be out, but I'll probably hang on to my Pro for a bit.
I always thought it would be the kind of game I would love to have seen a flip side of. Because it's obviously Disney influenced, so all the Final Fantasy characters are Disney-fied. You've got Cloud swords wrapped up in bandages and stuff like that. But I would love to have seen a Square version of that, just to see what a Square version of Mickey Mouse would have been, or Goofy, or anything else. That was always... But the thing is, you laugh, but at the end of one of them, I don't know if it was 2, you get a trailer, like a fake trailer, and they've done that. I'll have to try and find it. But you get like a fake trailer of what a Square version of it would have been, and it's really dark and broody and... But I would have loved to have seen that,
Kingdom Hearts is one of the most bizarre blends of things that I've ever seen in gaming.
Exist, but...
it's an absolute LSD dream of a game.
Yeah.
And Actually, I recall it as being quite cool. I don't know if I could bring myself to sit down and seriously play it as a grown-up. And yet, I might give it a crack and just not tell anyone.
I was tempted. Apparently, there's a Pirates of the Caribbean section in this one, so I'm sold. So I might be commentating and talking back on it at some point when she's got it. But
it's just...
Yeah, go on.
It's just it's a look. It's basically they've just taken all those franchises and put them, and it's like the Japanese perspective, isn't it? This is going to be the 16th game in this series, despite it being called Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, there's loads of weird versions.
I know there's like a lot of excitement for this among fans of the series. It's not something that's ever got to me. You know, this and Pokemon are about on the same level. It sounds completely bizarre. The
reason why there's so many of them is because you had the PSP games. So you had like lots of little in-between half games that were developed and stuff. And the Japanese love doing that. With certain franchises, we'll get so many weird in-between stories. It's almost like DLC before DLC. Like how you got Final Fantasy 15, you got Ignis' story and stuff like that. And you get all of the King's Guards. It's like that, but they brought them out as separate little games.
It's because, like, some of the sequels don't have a number on them. Chain of Memories is a direct sequel to the first game. Kingdom Hearts 2 takes place 1 year after the events of Chain of Memories. Kingdom Hearts Coded is an episodic mobile game.
Yep.
Kingdom Hearts 358/2 Days was released for the DS.
Yeah.
And is set between Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Wow, this is epic. I couldn't even begin to start getting into this.
It's almost reaching supernatural portions, isn't it, Rob?
It makes Supernatural look like a fucking one-off mini-series.
Sorry, just going back to something I said earlier, which was shifting on from the Kingdom Hearts. I hope you'll accept my apologies, but we were talking about Demon Hands earlier, and what I didn't quite realise, I thought this was much later this year, but March the 22nd.
Yes.
Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Now, I'm not going to get it. Because I found the Dark Souls and Demon Souls utterly impenetrable. I failed miserably at Bloodborne because I don't have the patience. So I won't be giving it a crack, and yet I know it will be, to many people, an excellent game.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that it's the first game from Software where the protagonist speaks.
Ooh, yeah, because it's always going to create your own character type arrangement.
Yeah,
and you say
not in Bloodborne, but I don't believe he had much of anything to say either. But
actually, sorry, you are correct. Sorry, but I kind of think that maybe there's a little downer to that, because Fallout 4 was the first Bethesda open world where the protagonist spoke, and it removed so much of what I saw as the RPG fun element, but that was when you fed it lines and it's a totally different kind of game, and probably I should just shut up.
No, I see what you mean, but I think the speaking element is more to do with the story, because you're playing this guy's tale, and that's the reason why you are this person.
Has he got a tail in this as well? I knew about the demon hand.
Maybe it's attached to the demon hand, who knows?
Boom. There's something quite interesting going on with Activision at the moment, to roll in a bit of current affairs. They've just washed their hands of Destiny and just gone, have it.
Really?
Bungie, they don't want anything to do with it. So I basically think it's underperformed, you know.
Wow.
Because they all think every game is going to be fucking Fortnite or something. Deluded lunatics.
Yes.
I don't even think I think the problem is that no one really bargained on Fortnite being what it was, and it's absolutely swallowed up an enormous part of the pie.
Yeah.
So they're having to adjust their expectations. So it's interesting. So I mentioned it because Sekiro is being published by Activision. So I feel like it's a chance for it to be a very different kind of proposition. I think Activision are actually making a lot of bets on little things, hoping that they can build franchises out of them.
Yeah.
So I think we could expect to see a few more games coming out that we don't even know about yet, coming out through Activision, which is good, because I think there'll be a flood of new franchises coming out.
It would be nice to see some new IP. It really would.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Activision have got money to spend. They've got Call of Duty. They're they've got Blizzard. That'll keep the money coming in. But hopefully, now that there's been this gulf caused by the failure of Destiny, relative failure, I must say.
Yeah.
To be honest,
maybe we'll see a few more interesting things.
To be honest, the blackout mode for what was it? To call it, what was it? Black Ops 4.
Yeah. Sorry.
The Battle Royale, basically, the Fortnite version of the Black Ops thing. Apparently, that's doing quite well. That's actually really quite popular. More popular than the main game.
Yeah.
So I reckon that's probably why they're quite happy to just go, well, we've got a Call of Duty Fortnite-ish type thing that's doing the realms. We've got Sekiro Shadows Die Twice coming out. That'll do our kind of Neo-style samurai kind of thing that everyone's into. People thought it was... I think originally it was going to be Tenchu Stealth Assassin or something, but the development got changed at the last minute. So people were looking forward to that, so they'll lap that up. It's curious to see what they'll bring out next.
Absolutely. I don't know. There's a couple of games that I'm not really that interested in, but I think I will probably end up playing, and that's Division 2 and Anthem.
I was going to ask you about Division 2, yeah.
I mean, I've just got no interest in it at all, but I had quite a good time playing the first one, as a weekly meet-up, multiplayer, co-op thing. I just don't really have much invested in that kind of real-world guns and ammo kind of thing. But yeah, they're both coming out at in the next couple of months. And unfortunately, I'm at South by Southwest for a couple of weeks and stuff. So I don't know when I'm going to get round to them. And am I going to have to play catch up, which I really don't want to have to do. But I have to acknowledge that they are, the elephants in the room. They're two giant games that are coming out this year, but both of them are going to be very long commitments.
I'm unconvinced by Anthem. I'll be honest, I could be wrong. I've watched some of the preview stuff. I don't know if it knows what it is. I mean, BioWare, I think it's good that EA Games are giving them, frankly, one last swan song before they kill them off like they've done with every other good studio after having stifled their creativity to death. Sorry, I said that out loud. And then they'll force them back into a Dragon Age that will be just horrible, and then they'll have an excuse to kill them, despite me being quite a Dragon Age fan. But it's under EA. It's just going to be, they're going to be like, yes, you're brilliant at these fantastic single player role play experiences. So yes, do a massively online Destiny clone for us. Oh, what's that? You do say, oh right, just have a hub where you can just do role play, and then you go out and play online. What the fuck is wrong with them?
They kind of seem like the boss from the IT crowd. And that guy, yes, Random. You're good at this, do that.
You're the sexy guy.
Absolutely, yeah. It's grim, it really is. But... Yeah, I've heard as well that the next Dragon Age game is going to be more of a multiplayer online thing.
It's going to be a mobile game.
Sold. I mean, out.
Yeah, completely. But yeah, I think that's the way. That's just the way it is. Anything else? If you've got a list, you said, Marcus.
A couple more. Yeah, let Will go.
I did have one other one, because one thing I think we're lacking this year is post-apocalyptic open world games. Right, particularly so we've got Rage 2 coming out. And also, arguably, you've got the new Doom Eternal, which is kind of post-apocalyptic, and apparently it's set on Earth, which is looking
forward to
open world. Actually, you know what? Both of those, Bethesda, cursed their names ever since Fallout 76, because I don't know what the fuck they're playing out there. But, as a publisher, I do have two quite exciting games coming out this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely the Doom Eternal, I believe, looks fun.
Yeah.
And Rage 2, certainly for the trailers, looks the things I was saying about the new Far Cry. Post-apocalyptic, but funky and colourful and fun and stupid. Yeah, bring it on. I'm on.
Rage 2 is out before E3. Think it's out in May. Doom Eternal doesn't actually have a date and isn't even on the list.
No, it's just 2019
on Wikipedia. So that could be end of the year.
Yeah.
I wonder what the Eternal part of that means. Are we going to get Doom?
Well, it's Hell on Earth.
Yes, Hell on Earth.
Are we getting what I was thinking more like that. Is that going to be like more of a service?
So here's a
things are going to plug into.
Here's a fun little thing. So might have been Eurogamer or one of the other sites. I read that. So the composer who is attributed to Doom Eternal is looking for a death metal screaming choir.
Yes, I heard this.
And
wicked!
And basically, almost certainly, the chances are it's to record the Doom Eternal soundtrack or parts of it. And he's looking literally for a harmonious choir of fucking thrash metal scream types. And on that basis, I'm not a massive Doom fan, but I think I'll buy it. Because I think the soundtrack must be one of the most fun ever.
Seriously.
Just to hear like a chorus of Phil Anselmo's just screaming their hearts out.
That sounds incredible.
I think Mick Gordon he's kind of like the Antichrist Hans Zimmer. He's a genius, but he's just the stuff he comes out with.
Demon Hans Zimmer.
He is amazing.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. Bringing it round. Call back. Love it. Loving your work, mate.
Loving your work. I think I might just go now.
Yeah. Drop the mic. Cool. Right, have you got anything else, Marcus? I've kind of been through most of mine.
Shenmue 3.
Oh, yes.
27th of August. A little bit far out, but just like to see where the story went.
I'll be honest,
I know the other games were really slow and stuff.
It's normally a drought period then anyway, so nice.
Yeah, but I'm still really stoked that Yu Suzuki got to do the third installment. I know it's a Kickstarter and everything else, and it's published by Deep Silver. I think they're publishing Anthem, I think, as well and stuff. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I still remember when he came out on E3 and we were like, what the fuck? Shenmue 3? It's happening? Before Half-Life 3? What?
That's never happening.
It was reaching one of those levels where it would never happen. So I'm a little bit teary-eyed. This guy got one more crack to do that. And the guy who did Devil May Cry. So I think I'm just a sucker for nostalgia. I think that's what it is.
Cool.
But, looking forward to that.
I've got Shenmue 1 and 2. I've got the remasters, but it's like an 80-hour commitment.
Yeah, they're long games. They're really long games.
And they both look like complete and utter arse, to be honest.
Well, to be honest, Shenmue 1 was the first game where you were at the behest of the weather.
Right.
So certain things happened, and if the weather report was wrong, the person wouldn't be there.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was a precursor to open world games.
I think you really had to be there at the time.
Yes, in 1980s Japan.
Yes. Go on, Will. What was your thought?
I was just about to say, but I think I had a bad link. But sorry, I mentioned two, and I don't know if all three are going to be out in 2019, because I mentioned Rage 2 and I mentioned Doom Eternal. The other one that was announced around the same time but doesn't have a release date yet, it would be nice to see if we get one earlier, maybe one later in the year, would be the new Wolfenstein. Youngblood, two-player twins in the 1980s fighting robot Nazis. I mean, well, what more do you want?
That'll be quite nicely, because I'm about to finish Man in the High Castle, and that feels like the perfect way to get into those games.
Fighting Nazis in the US of A.
Yeah, Youngblood's definitely one for next year, apparently, but there is no release date yet. I think, I don't know, that'd be kind of embarrassing if they show that again at E3, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
Well, I think they didn't show it. They showed a teaser trailer. If they show some gameplay footage, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, if they have that like playable.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they showed a lot. The Bethesda E3. They did most of it. They were looking at was near future releases. They did Fallout 76. That went well. Rage 2, which we know is coming out before E3. Doom Eternal, which I'm going to guess is the summer release, which could potentially put Youngblood, because these are all different studios.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there is a possibility, but I would guess probably early 2020. Shit, that's next year.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
It is.
I know.
Yeah.
I just got depressed.
Any more?
I don't have any more games. Have you got more, Marcus?
Just a couple of curiosities that I'm keeping my eye on. Not something that I'm particularly want to buy, but just the next Ace Combat game, because I've played quite a few of them in the past.
I think that's already out,
Skies
isn't it?
Unknown.
That's out like this week. It must be
February, I think it's due, isn't it?
Oh, okay. I did see some.
It's got a VR mission. That's why it's got a VR. One of the missions is in VR, and you can play it. But I don't think the actual full game's out yet. I'm not sure.
Oh,
I could be wrong.
Yeah,
though.
It's out tomorrow.
Is it? Christ, they moved that up. Okay.
January the 18th.
I might have to have a look at that. But yeah, only because I played a few of the others on the old PlayStations before. So I've got a kind of half interest in them. The other one...
They certainly do keep making them.
Yeah. Well, there's a market, isn't there? There's a market for fighter
There
jet
must
porn.
be.
I used to love them.
I think the only...
There's two games that I'm mildly intrigued in, and it's morbid curiosity. One is, what the hell's going to happen with Skull and Bones? I'm not going to buy it. I just want to see what kind of boat crash it's going to be.
Why not? It might be really good.
Exactly.
I've
if it turns out to be really good, I'll have a look.
I've had my fix with Assassin's Creed Odyssey of the ship-to-ship combat for now, so I can sit back and relax because my hopes for Skull and Bones, where you'd be able to do lots of trading and things. No, it's all about the fighting, and it's less about the strategy.
But it still had me at pirate, so that's probably why I'm a bit of a saddo.
Yeah,
you know.
I think it's more like
all by me onesie.
Dress up like a pirate and play it, and then you might feel like a pirate.
I'm looking at it now, actually.
Or don't bother playing and just.
I have a tricorn hat and a pirate saber.
That's it, yeah.
And a tankard. And the other one is Mortal Kombat 11 to see if it gets banned. Because I'm thinking at this point, the violence level is going to get so high that the BBFC might just slap a, you need to tone this down, or do a Germany and make the blood green or something like that.
I think,
but that's a really morbid curiosity.
So far as I can tell, violence is not a problem at any level in video games, so long as there's like no boobies or sex.
No, but this is gratuitous. I mean, when they started the whole X-ray thing, it was a new level. They took violence to a sore level of art form. It was crazy.
Yeah, to be honest, I remember playing, what was it, Sniper Elite 2 or whatever it was, the one where you get to shoot Hitler in the testicles in X-ray vision. that was great.
Oh, yeah.
So, no, you see, maybe one note to finish on, or finish from me certainly, is that there is possibly one Xbox system seller coming up, one last shout for the generation, and I refer to, of course, the new Battletoads game.
Battletoads, nice.
Okay.
Which is a new Battletoads game, need I say more?
Yeah, it's called Untitled Battletoads game.
Although there's also a new Toe Jam and Ale game.
Yes, actually, I'll be getting that.
That's a Kickstarter one, isn't it, I think?
Yeah.
They kickstarted that. That's cool. I just wanted to finish up with, and I'm totally, I'm landing this one on you with no preparation, but I just wondered if you guys had any like general predictions for things that might happen in the next 12 months in gaming.
Well, seeing as you've given us a short notice, I would say my quick answer would be no.
Next 6
Fair
months.
I can let you ponder for a bit and edit out the brain cogs whirring.
PS5.
Any thoughts
we might hear more about PS5. Or something.
My gut instinct. So Sony have said they are not attending E3 this year, which is huge. First time ever.
Yep.
Which strongly suggests they're not expecting to reveal new hardware at E3. Logically following on.
They might save it for the Sony conference.
Exactly that. Now, my expectation is that they'll be doing that maybe later in the year so as not to adversely affect PS4 sales. I think we will get the reveal of the consoles towards the end of this year, but not in such a way as it will affect Christmas sales.
No.
Because that's a peak sales season for them. So I think, just as happened with the last generation, when you had the two effectively revealing around the same time with a real fight for the release window, I think we'll see the same again this year. And I'm saying the two. Who knows what might come out of the woodwork there. I'm expecting to see both Xbox and Microsoft and Sony, towards the tail end of the year, confirm the new consoles. I mean, they've confirmed they're working on them, both sides, but to actually say, this one's coming out and confirm an approximate timeline. But they will not be doing it at E3, because one will do it immediately after the other, and I'm expecting that Microsoft will wait for Sony this time.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think they will. I think Xbox will do theirs first. I don't think there's going to be any. I agree. I don't think there's going to be any concrete announcement this year because they won't want to affect their sales at Christmas. They'll want to get one more year out of it. I reckon we might see one more big game from Sony for Christmas time because at the moment they've got nothing.
They've got a lot of games with not fixed dates yet, so that's. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if anything gets cemented for this year.
Massive AAA title, like the definitive one, and everyone's waiting for it at the end of the year.
But it's interesting.
But it's got to be something they've announced already, though, because they're not at E3.
So we're talking Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
We are
it's bound to be, innit?
Well, Last of Us 2 seems likely. Final Fantasy 7 Remake, you never know, might suddenly get a date.
It might be something like that.
But I don't think Final Fantasy 7 is big enough. I think Final Fantasy 7 has a massive appeal to people of our generation, those that played it when they were young. I think you'll find there's an awful lot of people who couldn't give a fuck about an old game.
No, but they. I don't know. Yeah,
but
I don't think Ghost of Tsushima or Last of Us 2 are coming out this year. I really don't.
I think you're probably right. I think the trouble is they're trying to pack the punch for the next generation, so as to not leave that generation hanging on not having enough good games. They've been burned by that before. Yeah. It's going to be a really tricky balance. It's going to be really interesting. And you know what? You say, any predictions? I'm almost not too keen to try and predict, because I think it's really, really hard to judge at the moment. What I would like to see when we see the next generation is Sony stick with the VR, and with the upgraded hardware and processing capacity, improve the VR experience at what has been proven to be a great market for the home consoles, not just the PC enthusiasts. I think we should see a new PSVR
to the Sony VR then.
Not for the current generation.
You don't reckon there'll be an update for the Sony VR?
I think that the PlayStation VR for the current generation, the PS4, PS Pro, is towards its limit, and I think by the time the PS5 is released, probably the hardware they're working on right now, they will release new VR hardware to go with it, remaster everything that's been on the PS4 in VR, have a suite of VR games to go out in a much better resolution.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, VR tech in general hasn't really moved along that much yet. They seem more concerned with the inside-out tracking stuff rather than actually making the resolution on the screen any better. They're more interested in making it more portable. That doesn't really do much for Sony. Sony could release a standalone VR thing. In fact, I think that's more likely. They could do a standalone VR headset with the old PS4 hardware that doesn't require you to be tethered.
I think they're more likely to go using better Wi-Fi technology. Look for a wireless PS4 headset. So using the box for the power of the streaming technology to get it across to the headset.
Okay, that's interesting.
So well, actually, the Vive has gone wireless, hasn't it? Mm-hmm. The new Vive?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And it's got the inside-out tracking, so you aren't really hampered by your play space or, having sensors set up.
So who knows what's going on. So you're thinking like possibly PS4 VR.
PS5 with a massively
PS4
upgraded VR, possibly announced this year.
PS4 portable VR, basically.
Yeah, no, I'm saying PS5 and streaming.
It's the most portable thing they're likely to do. I don't think they're going to be bringing out a new handheld anytime soon. Unless the PS5 is handheld.
Yeah. There's rumours for that. There's rumours going around at the moment.
No, I think that's exactly what it is. I think it's rumours. I think we will see that Sony and Microsoft will focus on power over portability. It's all about the shiniest graphics and the best frame rate, and they will not be going down the handheld
But would it be a combination of the two? Because I'm looking at my Switch. Well, not my Switch, Caesar's Switch. And I was surprised that it is literally a handheld console with a dock.
It's a wonderful bit of kit.
But who's to say that dock doesn't have additional power? So when you plug it in, it becomes the console. It doubles or triples in power, but you still have that portable handheld.
I think the coding for the games, the build of the games,
so what the games look like arse then when it's undocked? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's true. Won't be enough, would it?
You have to have parity. That's the trouble. And the only thing they've done on Switch is they dropped the resolution, I believe.
You look at the markets. The three of us, four of us when Ian's around, and an awful lot of the people that listen to us are gamers there purely for the gameplay and the fun and the joy. But a lot of people, particularly on the casual side, will look at the console and they will go with the one that is deemed to be the most powerful. And you will not get that from the handheld unit. So people that buy the Nintendo Switch buy it because they're fun games, right? But a lot of people just play FIFA, just play the latest COD. They want to know it's the one with the best graphics and the fastest.
Yeah.
They just want power, muscle. And that is what the big sellers will do. I believe that firmly.
Yeah, that's definitely the arms race between Microsoft and Sony. Cool. Okay. Anyone got any other thoughts about what might happen in 2019?
I reckon they should just do a caddy for the graphics thing and just let it be upgradable like a PC. Fuck it. Every Black Friday, you pull out your caddy, throw it away, put a new case of depleted uranium in to power your graphics beast.
Okay,
move to Mr. Fusion.
It is the end game for consoles. It's the only way that consoles would take a bigger chunk.
Well, the whole prediction was that PS4 was going to be the last generation. We can see that's bullshit. It's hardware iterations, so there'll never be a new generation.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, it's a numbered sequel this time. It's not like an incremental jump. I think it's a whole new platform that they're working towards now.
The only thing I cannot predict is what the next Xbox will be called. The PS5 will be called the PS5. But you had the Xbox, they had the Xbox 360, they had the Xbox One. It cannot be the Xbox 2. It's going to be the Xbox
One S.
Jeff.
And the Xbox One X. So I reckon you've got two more letters. Xbox One Y.
Xbox V.
Xbox One Z.
Xbox V, to name after that weird character. No. Sorry, wrong game.
It's actually the it's the fourth Xbox, isn't it?
The Xbox One is the third Xbox, although the Xbox One X was a generation, but you can't have the Xbox One X V. I don't know. They've labelled themselves into a corner.
Yeah, they could just do, carrying on from that, they could call it like the Xbox Infinity, and then they really are like hoisted by their own petard.
Maybe they could move it.
Maybe move version 1.1, 1.2.
Maybe they could prefix it rather than suffixing it. You can call it the Xbox or the One Xbox or the
Can't be the Xbox. It's
the
like
XL
X-Parrot.
box. Do you want to come and check out my XL box? It just sounds weird.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe they could do premium Xbox and you could shorten it to Prixbox. Who could say?
I think they're thinking of Xbox more as like a platform now, because there is apparently going to be a SKU that is just like an online box that streams.
No, basically the driverless version. I'm sure it will have a download capability, but it won't have the moving parts. It will have less failure rate. It will be cheaper. Possibly it'll be mostly limited so that it's streaming, but it will have a hard drive capability, in my opinion. And then you'll have the disk install version and all of that fun stuff.
Do you think the X is the start of use of Roman numerals now? So you get the XI, XII, XII.
That's actually, in which case we need to call it the Xbox 110.
Well, the Xbox,
we've already had an Xbox One
X.
X.
11. No, it's Xbox 9.
No, but the Xbox One XI.
XI, that's the Xbox 111.
It's not
I don't know. Xbox is a very naughty boy.
Is this a good time to stop this episode?
Possibly, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Not Playing Podcast, part of the Not Listening Podcast Network, where you can also find the Not Watching Podcast, where we talk about movies and TV, and the Not Listening Podcast, where you can hear Adam and Co. talk about all kinds of nonsensical nonsense. You can email us at notplayingpodcast@gmail.com, or you can tweet at or follow us on Twitter at notplayingpod. You can find the show notes for all our shows at notlistening.co.uk, and if you like what you've heard here, please do leave us a review. Anyway, that's all for now. Until next time, bye!
With no booty, my friend, I'm inclined to agree, 'cause I suck. You suck. I suck at